There's no reason to sell you the pass.
Walt
to
Disney
sell you
Company
the individual
cheaping
ride
out
selections.
on attractions?
Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. It's happened before.
Damn!
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Knotcast presented by Knot Club 33. On the show today, Monsters, Inc., the Door Coaster, Door Experience. There will be a name for it eventually. We're talking about our first reactions. My name is Steve Rhodes. With me today, it's Pat Neistat.
What's up, guys?
Say hello to Becky Wells.
Hey.
And, of course, the Disney cynic, Bobby Burchens is here.
Did you guys know that coconuts aren't actually a nut, they're a fruit?
No shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I don't know.
Is that really a fun fact?
I don't know.
I'm not.
He's got the whole
I think
Miami
it's fine.
vibe going down there. Who knows what kind of things are going through his head.
I'm one of the few
Let's keep
people
it
that's
moving.
above freezing these days. So, you know what? I'm enjoying my island vibe right now.
80 degrees,
80 degrees
in St. Louis. In St. Louis, so we're good.
Oh, finally, you guys got out of the
2 days
blizzard.
ago.
Okay.
Boom.
And then a blizzard Friday. So
Weather aside, we got some renderings and some video from the Disney Parks blog posted all over social media of the Monsters, Inc. coaster that's going in, replacing Muppets, beloved to Bobby. And, I mean, quite frankly, it looked kind of
You had to
cool. I don't
bring
know
it
how
up.
long the ride's going to be.
I was gonna leave. I'm just saying. I was gonna leave it alone.
you didn't
We'll get
even
to
make
you.
it to the intro.
Yeah, we'll get to you. Bobby.
I didn't say it. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, but you start running your mouth. So.
A lot of the reactions on social media have been either the ride is awesome or it's not a valid replacement, blah, blah, blah. But we're here to talk about the ride itself.
Dang.
Becky, you saw the video.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
My very first impression was like, sweet. Oh gosh, I really hope this is not the same thing as I think it's Forbidden Journey, whatever the castle ride is at Universal for Hogwarts.
Oh,
Both of those thoughts at the same time. Looks awesome. Also, please don't be that, because it does move. You do move, and it's a cool experience, but it's so much screens, and I really hope that they can.
Is that a roller
somewhat-
coaster?
It is, theoretically.
It is?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I kind of hope this has more of a rock and roller coaster vibe. And if there's some screen stuff, cool. But that's kind of what I picture with like the door scene from the movie. So
Yeah.
I do like, it looks like a cool motion on the ride vehicle, and it could be amazing. So we'll see what happens. But that was my very first thought, was like, oh, don't be that. I know Disney doesn't really have that, so it would be different
Yeah.
for them. But I'm really hoping they go a little more innovative.
what if it's
than-
like a combo like Rise of the Resistance where it's part coaster, part, imagination, and you can move around and
That'd be freaking awesome.
yeah.
I just don't want like where I'm in a theater with a moving chair.
Hmm.
So, and then go to
I
the
think
next
it's more than
theater.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I also hope and think that, but that was my initial thought process. So can't wait to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know. We're all pontificating
Yeah.
here. Pat, I'll let you jump in next. Your thoughts on what you saw in the video. What was your initial reaction?
Yeah, so my initial reaction is it essentially is mimicking that scene from the movie where they pick
Oh,
up
yeah.
the door and then pick you up and then whisk you off. So I'm thinking you're going to be on this roller coaster and there's going to be doors just like in that scene. They're going to be whizzing by you, I would think. I don't know.
On a screen?
That's
Probably on a screen.
no, I don't think on a screen. I'm
You don't
thinking
think
not
so?
on a screen. I think there will be screens, but I think they're going to be. I think it's going to be a mix of like Guardians of the Galaxy and then maybe like actual props, I guess. But
Oh, that would be
I think
cool.
there's gonna have to be doors going. Like to me, there would have to be, and that would make it like you're in the movie. But I don't know. That's
That
where
would
my
be kinda
mind's
dope.
going.
if the doors are actually whizzing past you, but then maybe you're not moving. I mean, I don't. It's gonna
Well, it's
be.
a coaster, so you got to be moving. I'm thinking like the Batman, like you're suspended, you're down. You know, like your feet are
Good old Six
dangling.
Flags.
But
Yeah.
You know, this is where, don't you step on where I was going to go, you son of a bitch. Here's where I'm going to go with it. You want to know what my first thought was? My first thought was, oh my God, I'm never going to
I'm sure
have
it was very
children.
positive.
That's what my first thought.
Wait,
Ow.
why?
That was my first thought. I don't know
Ow.
why. I see this as like a banana
it's not-
seat of some kind with like shoulder straps over you. In
That's where
some
your
way,
mind went.
like I don't know how else you're gonna like be able to get all the riders of different sizes on this coaster safely without some sort of banana feature on the seat. That's gonna ride up. It's gonna hurt. That was my first thought on it, and that is my thought on the ride itself.
That's your whole thought is
Bananas.
the banana coaster.
Ow.
That's
That's
very
what my
positive.
first thought was. That's what it was. Ow.
That would not go over well with
What was your
half
second
the
thought?
population.
What was your second thought?
Second thought, look, I'm fine that this is a ride launch system. However, we don't know what the rest of the ride is going to be yet. I would love for it to be a return to form whereby they create this giant animatronic of John Goodman, basically, or whatever his character's name is. I don't know. I've not seen
It's
it.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
I mean, well, anyway, point being though,
Basically,
like
a blue Yeti.
you would need
Visit
to have,
the Yeti, and he was-
yeah, you would need to have a
Yeti.
Yeti, basically, but John Goodman.
Strobe like
Yeah.
Sully.
Yeah.
Sully needs to be on one of the doors flying by.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Dan from Roseanne, whoever you want. It's your John Goodman. You do what you want to do with your John Goodman.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski.
Shout out John Goodman from our hometown of St. Louis, Pat. So Becky, you too, obviously. I think this is my thing. I looked at the video and I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I kind of have like this pit in my stomach thinking this is going to be a 90-second ride, like one of those like you're going to wait in line, and it's going to be
Tron.
like the qualm I have with Tron is not that the ride isn't cool; it's a very cool ride.
Yeah.
But God, it just doesn't last long enough, and I kind of feel like this might be one of those where maybe they don't have the space that they need, or they cheap out and they just don't make it long enough to warrant the wait time, and then there's no reason to sell you the pass.
The Walt Disney Company cheaping out
selections.
on attractions?
Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. It's happened before.
Well, how long is Tron? 60 seconds?
Like 90, I think. Yeah.
Is
like
it?
a minute 23? I don't know.
Oh, okay. I mean,
It's
that is a
information's on the screen.
short. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like a great
It
thrill,
feels
but it's
much shorter.
especially for what you have to wait.
Yeah.
You know.
And I kind of think that this might be that, but this is the first ride we're getting in a while that is a ground up imagination thing. So we've got some old school Imagineers back in the fray. So this is not going to be just some hotel white box shit that we had in the past, in the recent past. This is going to be some
this week with
new
the
stuff
Emporium
that they're building from the ground up. So
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I think what we're seeing is that this could possibly, I mean, this is going to set the tone, I think, for the future of how they kind of do rides with this crew of Imagineers they have. Is this going to continue being that old, just off the shelf type of, hey, we did something a little bit different, but it's not really? Or is this going to be like, oh, this is the fucking shit? Like,
Well, one thing I found interesting, it's kind of off topic, but still topical, is that Joe Rohde had like some type of seminar about like Mayan culture. I think it was Mayan culture, and the group of Imagineers that are doing the Encanto and the Tropical America, they were at this lecture or whatever, and apparently they were showing renderings of what they're going to be doing, and apparently it's like people were like blown away by it.
okay.
So
So, I
So-
mean, it's a different park, but that bodes well just for the thought process of the company from an Imagineering standpoint.
Yeah, maybe like
So-
we're just going to get some sick details that maybe
Hey.
some people won't be interested in it, but
Yeah.
that would
I
be
mean,
great.
there's always going to be, the whole caveat of this is the thing replacing Muppets and whatnot. But I think
Sure.
the ride itself, we can judge it on its own merits. And
Sure,
I'm optimistic based on what I see. I think it's going to be cool.
sure, yeah. I hope
If
so.
I'm being honest,
Yeah.
I'm not really optimistic about it. I've seen exactly what you're talking about with the Joe Rody thing, and what I've kind of been disappointed by there. It's like there's always one step that's just not complete with every new project that's kind of come out, and that's kind of like the disappointing.
You mean
part.
just like
they might
you mean like
actually
scale back?
have.
Sure.
Yeah, like Tron is an amazing looking attraction, visually striking,
Mhm.
has an amazing launch
Mhm.
system, but it's short. Guardians of the Galaxy
Short,
is
yeah.
an amazing launch system that goes backwards and the coaster spins, but it's nothing but screens, man. Like they can't put the whole package together with one attraction for some reason, and that's why I'm not confident that they're going to be able to pull this off and make a complete one that everybody's going to love.
I mean, I disagree on
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
I
I
don't feel like
disagree,
Guardians
too.
is a screens
Yeah.
enough ride.
I think the only way. Go ahead.
But-
Becky.
I feel that
No,
way,
I-
but that's more because I see it like Space Mountain Plus at this point. It's an amazing
For
version
sure.
of
Look,
Space Mountain.
I
as far as
completely
I'm concerned.
agree, but I think that the screens, while it's present in the beginning part and then like tiny bit at the end, I'm not paying a freaking bit of attention to any screens in
Oh,
the
no.
Still have
actual
no idea
meat
what's
of the
going on.
ride. And it doesn't matter. It's
Streaming.
fun and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's what you're supposed
And
to be
so
doing.
like I don't notice if honestly like
It's
there's
like you're
what there's
going
like
through space.
the moon or the globe or whatever. I don't even
Yeah.
know. Whatever you're spinning
Yeah.
around, I don't even like no idea. I've
I
been
think
on
it's
the ride
Earth, right?
more times than I can think
It's
of.
moon.
Yeah, probably. But I don't. It doesn't bother me because it's not. You don't have to be trying to catch visually what's happening to enjoy the rest of the ride. Whereas a lot of the screen-based rides in other parks that I've experienced,
Sure.
which I don't care for necessarily, those are like you've got to try to figure out exactly to keep in the story. You have to be watching the screen. You
Yeah.
have the audio,
I-
you have some motion, but that's one I don't really feel that way.
Or there's a screen
Yeah.
and there's
I
no
guess
story
maybe-
like Navi River Journey.
Or
Don't ride it. Don't know.
or what you do is you bring in the Joe Rody to bring back the Yeti, or bring back at least the spirit anyway of that roller coaster, because I do feel like that was the last true complete ride that Disney
Well, that's just
really
an
delivered
amazing
on.
attraction.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
not too many
Rise-
attractions that are as good as that particular one. Like
Rise
all
of
the
the
way
Exactly.
through.
That's what this
Yeah,
generation
I mean,
needs,
there's
though.
a
of
hand-
new
there's a hand-
engineers.
There's a
Yeah.
handful of them, you know.
But I think, to your point, Pat, the fact that they have Joe Rody back in the park and doing things, officially with
Well,
the
and that
Disney
park's
company,
his baby. He's not going to let a new
That
land
bodes
screw
well
up the rest of
for-
his park.
Yeah.
but that bodes well for these rides in general when they're building
Sure.
new rides, is they're willing to talk to legacy Imagineers instead of just doing this black box bullshit where they're just throwing things out there and saying, hey, we got a new ride. This looks like something, from when I'm talking about monsters, this looks like something they're actually Imagineering from the ground up. Now, whether we get that and this is just all blue sky bullshit, that's
Yeah.
yet to be seen. But I'm
that's what I
confident
mean. As
that we're
I
gonna
think it's
that we're
blue
gonna
sky.
get something.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
will
blue
have a
skies is smart.
The
Yeah.
one thing that Bobby's right about Guardians of the Galaxy is everything's great about that ride. Everything except the fucking building, that blue building. You know.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
if
It is.
that could have been
cop-out.
themed, right? That could have
How do you
been
not
themed
do
better.
something
But
Stark
you know.
Tower or something back there? I mean, come on. Like,
But-
there's a way to
but
make
with that
them
said-
pull that shit.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that said,
Yeah.
the facade for the Monsters coaster is supposed to look like the Monsters Inc. factory, the Laugh
From the
Factory, or
front.
whatever it is.
Just-
Yeah. So,
Hopefully,
But
there's no weird vantage points in back or
Yeah.
anything that you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
but at
never
least
know.
I mean that we're not getting a blue building.
Maybe on paper.
Okay, yeah. let's hope.
I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah.
One thing I'm optimistic about is that we're going to take a couple week break here, and we're not going to have another show until April. Spring break is upon us. I'm doing some trips. Everybody's got things going on, so
Soccer.
check
Mhm.
back for the Notcast. First week of April, we will be off until first week of April, so mark your calendars for that. There will be a show then. We're actually about to record it, but I just won't have time to edit it. But, you'll see us in the
Curtain
first
is
week
all
of
the way
April.
pulled back.
Hey, inside baseball. If you like shows like this one, throw a like on the video. Consider subscribing because it's free to do so and it really helps us out. And turn on those notifications so you don't forget about when that next Notcast drops. There will be other content on this channel. In the meantime, I said I was going on spring break. You might just see some videos dropping while I am there.
Whoa.
For everybody here at Not Club 33, have an awesome day.